Hello, Key Biscayne. It is Monday, September 17th, 2018. This is your No One's Listening Show, episode 123. I'm your host, Rafa. With me is the panel. We're all running for council. To my left is Manny.
Rafa, I'm here to announce that I am not running for council.
To his left is Griff.
Yeah, I'm not running for council either.
To his left is Anna.
I am running for council.
What's your platform?
I'm just playing. There's no way I'm running for council.
Anna, you didn't expect that follow-up question right away, did you? You should have just followed the...
I didn't have the answer because it would be, I don't know. Let's seaweed on the beach. I don't know. So I'm not running for council because I wasn't prepared for that question.
All right, let's start how we always start. It's called Weekend Talk.
Man, I had a beautiful weekend, Rafa. I would have to say that the highlight of the weekend was participating in the International Coastal Cleanup Day. It's a Dade County-wide cleanup of our coastal regions, 45 locations doing a concurrent cleanup.
Nice.
So it's organized by our friends at volunteercleanup.org. Dave and Dara, probably king and queen of weirdos out there, pick up trash, do a great job. We did our coastal cleanup at Bill Baggs, which was one of the locations on Key Biscayne, and we put our own slant on it. We made it a stand-up paddle cleanup to focus on sweeping the mangroves. And I also want to give a shout-out to the newest member of the paddle family here on Key Biscayne, Paddle.
Oh.
New company started by friends of the show, Jauregui, Corey, and Abello.
Yeah, and Andres.
Paddle,
PADL, right?
PADL,
Yeah.
Paddle, and give these guys a shout-out. They're starting a company that is basically the city bike for paddle boards. So you have an app. You're in the south of France or in Southampton or in South Beach, and you want to go for a paddle. You pull up your paddle app. You find the closest docking station where there's a paddleboard that you can swipe and borrow, and you go for a paddle. You put it back after, and there you go.
Where is it on the key? Or
It's not. It's not on the key yet. These guys I'm learning about their operation. They just got back from the Surf Expo. But we're going to collaborate with them, fill a bag, and
Awesome.
and all of our stuff. We're going to collaborate with them. We have an idea for a. Well, there's more to follow, so just stay tuned. Check them out.
That's exciting.
PADL on Instagram. You'll find them at Key Biscayne Homegrown Business. Good luck, guys.
I read something about them. I'm wondering now if it was in the newspaper or just on Facebook or something.
It's in the Islander, I think.
It was in the Islander, right?
Yep, in
Cool.
the Islander.
Well, there you go. Thanks.
What'd you do,
guys.
Griff? You remember what you did this weekend?
Yeah,
Yesterday?
Friday did the glorious event that Anna had.
Thank you.
It was a great time. I'll let you talk about it more later. And yesterday had a great day with some friends out on the boat. That's it. That was my weekend. Just hang out. Oh, by the way, I did get my rods back, if anybody's listening.
Oh.
I did get them back.
How'd you get them back again?
I
How
called
okay.
the yacht club, and they're like, yeah, buddy, we have them in the office. Come pick them up. So it all worked out.
I wanted to make a special announcement, but you beat me to it.
Sorry.
Oh, was that a big part of the...
That was it. That's all we got.
That's it.
Yeah. Show's over. Rods are back with Johnny.
Griff,
So
just a silly question. I mean,
Sure.
what are you doing with fishing rods? Why do you...
I fish, Manny. I fish with friends on the weekends. I do fishing tournaments. I'm learning.
Gotta
That's why I
start
bought
somewhere.
them. That's why I bought them.
Gotta start somewhere.
Good for you. And do you have rod holders on your boat, or do you lose them often?
No, I have them.
All right, well, keep a good hold on your rod there, Griff.
It's just to put in the
Oh.
back of the truck so he
Oh.
looks cool when he's having the beers back there.
Exactly.
Griff,
Yeah.
for whatever it's worth, you
Thing.
look cool all the time,
Oh, that's nice.
even right now.
I'm learning. I'm learning. It's a process.
To be cool.
No, to fish. To fish.
What about
So-
you, Anna?
Well, I had the exhibition opening on Friday, and I want to thank everyone that came out and the friends who were not able to come out. I'm looking at you, Manny.
I see that.
Because a lot of the key friends were there. So I felt very loved, and it was really nice. And it was freaking fun. It was really fun. We had booze. There was the cajachina tacos that everybody ate and loved, and I did not, which is why I got blackout.
They were
later.
good.
I'm so upset with myself.
First thing
not
I
eating.
went to. That's a lie.
We
I
had a
went to the
really
beer
good
first.
turnout, and then we went to Las Rosas and drank some more. And I don't know what it was. If it was, I don't know, the not eating thing or the
100
working for many days in a row thing
100 drinks thing.
or the 100 drinks thing.
I think it's called tequila.
I think it was called tequila. So if you guys saw me after like 2 a.m. on Friday night, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. But it was so fun. And seriously, I had such a good time. So thank you for everybody that came out.
And if you did see Anna and you want to comment on it, give us a call.
If you have a picture of me after 2 a.m. on Friday night, you can
361-8557 is that number if you want to call us on the show.
And then there's one more thing I'd like to talk about for the weekend because it was something I haven't done in a while due to the rain that we've been getting and some seaweed action. But I went to the beach both Saturday and Sunday and had the best time. The water was glorious. It was beautiful. I don't even know if it has intracoco or whatever, but I was in it and I loved it. Entricokis. I don't know what it's called.
Which beach did you go to? Because I went for a paddle on Sunday and I noticed that further south it was super clean, and then up by the Kikani it was a little
Beach
dirtier.
Club. I have not been
Beach
going.
Club was beautiful.
Yeah, I have not been going to the Kikani Beach because it's been horrific. So I've been going to Beach Club Beach, and the water was beautiful, perfect temperature, clear, nice.
Is there any truth to the fact that they're thinking of renaming it Gaka Colony?
No, come on.
What is this? What do you mean, caca colony? What are you talking
Well,
about?
up there at Kikani, it seems that's where all the stink
Kikani's
is.
smelly right now, and I'm not happy about it. But
It's the way of the land, you know? That's how it is right now.
I know I'm waiting for the day that's no longer the case because this summer has been tough without the beach.
And Rafa, what's a weekend without you drinking wine with Anna? I mean, what did you do?
That did not happen, actually. I went to the same thing, but all my stories from that night are rated bad news, so we're not going to talk about them.
Wait a second, Rafa. There's only 4 people listening. One of them's me, then Lenny and Alvaro. So there's a 4th listener out there. That might be you.
Well, they can. I could tell them the
DM
story
you.
some other time. Yeah.
Really?
Bad news out there.
Bad news bears
Bad
on Friday,
news
bro.
all
There
around.
was some
What?
bad news bears on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We're all alive.
Like
though.
Roses
the
is
next
huge.
day-
We all made it.
Let me say that I went the next day to the beach. Okay, very nice day at the beach. Crystal clear water. There was a bit of a breeze too, where it was like chilly when you got out of the water.
Oh, that's right. It was freezing.
And I met Patty and Felipe.
Poro.
Yes,
Good
and
people.
they are
Awesome.
big
They're both
fans of the
awesome.
show, and I wanted to
Yeah.
give them a shout out. Super cool. Saw them at the beach, hung
Super
out with
cool.
them, and like Bea and James and Brian and a couple other people. So that was good.
And they're longtime key rats too.
I hung out with them one night at the Anderson and had such a great time. And then the beach on Saturday, I didn't connect the dots there because I had the tough night on Friday night. But later on, it clicked, and I was like, we hung out. They're like, yes, we did. We had the best time, and they're fans of the show. So.
They were at the famous Raft Up concert, the Chicken
What, in
Liquor.
May last year?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
they were there.
awesome.
Yeah. Felipe missed most of it, but they were there.
That's cool.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. It's called What Are You Listening To? Who wants to go first?
You know, since I'm to your left, Rafa, I will go first.
Okay.
And because I didn't do it last week, I think it's overdue and due, and you got to give the props where they're merited. Burt Reynolds passed away last week. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he was every guy wanted to hang with him, and every girl wanted to bang him. I mean, he was.
He was hot.
And for us growing up in the 70s and 80s, his movies were just, formative. I remember my 10th birthday was at Smokey and the Bandit, 1977. So I'm gonna put the Jerry Reed song "Eastbound Down." I forget the words now. Scooby doo ba doo bee booty doo. We got a long way to go. You know that song.
Great song.
So Jerry Reed, "Eastbound Down." Rest in peace, Bert. Thanks for all the good times.
Very nice. Who's next?
Oh, I had a song, but I want to switch it up now. But I'm worried that it's going to be the same song as you, Rafa.
Oh, it is good.
Damn it! No. Should I go first so you can't take it? I'm joking. I'll give it to you. Whatever. Although I want it for myself.
I got it first. I'm in. I'll go first. So on Saturday, at the beach in the water, run into Big Lou and Barb, and we're talking about, I don't know, probably the night before or something like that.
We were talking about the night before, yeah.
And something came up about, dim lights, thick smoke. And Lou says to me, that's a song.
To us, Rafa. He says to us.
I'm in my memory here, okay? The tunnel vision. It was me and Lou had a moment.
Right.
And he says to me, that's a song. And I did not know it was a song, but it's called Dim Lights, Thick Smoke. There's a lot of versions, but a really good version is by the New Riders of the Purple Sage. Live. You got to get the live one. I don't like the studio cut. No good. And it goes, dim lights, thick smoke, and loud, loud music. And it's so good. Better than what I just did.
Dude, NRPS, that's going deep to the well. I remember those guys.
It's good. Look them up on YouTube or even on like Spotify and stuff like that. The live version's there. And it's really good. Dim lights, thick smoke. That's how I like to hang. That's why it came up.
You're so obvious. Like, of course you picked that.
Well, I had a Misfits song, if you really want to know, from when I was riding out.
I really do want to know.
On Friday,
yeah.
But I figured that Dim Lights, Thick Smoke was...
No, it makes sense. It makes sense for this.
Was more topical than whatever I was jamming by myself in the car.
So... I guess I'm going to butt in and take Neil Young, Harvest Moon. I was just hearing it today. And
I already requested that like 3 weeks ago.
But it's not about requests. It's just what am I listening to? It's what am I listening to? That's what I'm listening to.
Fine. I'm happy that you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm listening to Dim Lights, Thick Smoke. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So while Rafa and Lou were having a moment in the water and I was not part of that, I was listening to something else in my head. I don't know why I've been listening to this, but it's Caetano Veloso. That's why I've been listening to it. It's from an album called Muito from 1978. And it's called Muito. It's called Terra, and it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Some say that he wrote it while he was in jail, and it was 1969, and the man landed on the moon, and then the picture of Earth came, and he saw it. I don't even know. But it's a really beautiful song. And live versions are best for this one also. There's a bunch. And people sing along, and it's really beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's Monday, September 17th, 2018. No One's Listening Show, episode 123. Guess we could go to the news. Oh, I did snap. Anna was telling me not to snap. And I subconsciously snapped. So, I guess it's a thing. It's a tick.
It is a thing.
I got a lot of those. Okay, well, let's move on to the next segment. It's called The Talk of the Town. First thing on the agenda here, something that Manny brought up and I have no idea about, but I'm very excited to learn about, and I talked about this over the weekend on Saturday with people on the beach. Where does the seaweed go, Manny? Where does the seaweed go? All that seaweed that comes in and they truck it off. I know.
Rafa, you ever go to the beach in Key Biscayne?
Yes.
Have you been to the beach in Key Biscayne in the last 2 months?
Yes, I have.
What have you noticed on the beach in Key Biscayne in the last 2 months?
There's a lot of seaweed.
And where do you see all that seaweed? I mean, right at the shoreline or?
Yeah, I suppose.
Recently,
Am I saying
though,
the right answer?
Recently, though, you've seen that seaweed in different places. Have you noticed the
Back
way
of
that
the beach
over
my
there in
shorts.
Key Colony? What have you noticed anything different?
Yes.
What have you noticed?
Piles and piles of seaweed.
Really?
Do you know what
Maybe
they do?
6 feet tall.
Do you know what they do with the seaweed on a regular day?
Burn it. No, I don't know.
No, when they rake it on a regular day, you know what they do with the seaweed in the morning?
Do they bury it?
They bury it.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
But they have not been burying the seaweed because they can't keep up with it. And so, as Anna has noted, they've been raking it into piles 6 feet high of seaweed. And those piles have accumulated mostly up like around Key Colony and the Commodore.
Are they really
Jesus.
6 feet high?
They are, because I was going to take a picture with it the other day, and I got next to it, and it was taller than me, so.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some kids out there playing King of the Weed. Hill.
You know, you can make like topical lotions and stuff like that out of seaweed.
I want to do it with the seaweed.
Well,
There's
that's-
enter cookies.
Maybe.
Well, you boil it first.
That's not what they're doing with it, Rafa. Since you asked, what they're doing
You're
is
not
that
making face creams.
they're dragging the seaweed up off the coast, off the shoreline, and instead of burying it, which I think is awful, they bury it with all the trash stuck in it. But that's a whole other topic. They're putting it into piles, and they're pushing those piles up towards the north end of the island by the Commodore, and then they're waiting for the high tide to come all the way in. And once that high tide is all the way in, they're pushing all the weed into the water
What?
so that the currents will take it out on the
What?
outgoing tide. You can hear me from where I am or
No,
not?
I'm confused.
I know, it's shocking, right? So
This sounds like a backwards plan.
the weed is then getting put into the water and the outgoing tide and hopefully catching a current north and getting it off the key.
I think that's a lot of hoping, isn't it?
Well, apparently they did it, and I get this from the Public Works Department has admitted that this is what they're doing. It worked at Cranon Park. Cranon Park had the same problem. They put all the weed out there on the outgoing tide, and it pushed up north. So they're like, you know what? The contractor that manages the beaches on the Key, the raking contractor, has decided that that's what they're going to try to do. So it's like, desperate means, desperate measures kind of thing.
Doesn't sound like the right solution.
Well, I mean, I wonder what the people up in Miami Beach think about that.
Yeah, that's where it's going. I mean, right?
Have you been out to the beach lately, Rafa?
Yes.
And what was it like lately?
I mean, this weekend was fine, but today it was not fine. Today was disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about those piles, Anna? Are they still over there?
I didn't go through Key Colony.
I think
went
they're gone.
Directly. They're gone?
Yeah, I think they're gone. I think they've
been
pushed
going
up. They're up
through
around
Ocean
North
Club.
Carolina right now.
No,
Are you
they're-
serious? This is a real thing, huh? Wow.
That's
This
crazy.
is a real
So
thing.
that's funny because today it was. I mean, I can't say for sure where it came from, but it was like a good 6 feet into the water. Just
Oh, there was a bunch
it's just
again.
like in there in the water.
When is it supposed to end?
It's as soon as it gets cold, it should get better. Or it should stop coming, or at least as the temperatures go down.
that and when the wind shifts.
Why don't they just burn it?
That's
Where? How do you burn wet seaweed? I mean, like dose it with gasoline and
Wait till
douse
it
it with
dried out.
Wait till it dries out.
and put it.
It stinks.
In the
It's
parking lot?
drying. There's flies. There's like animals in there. It's organic.
I heard.
That seaweed's
face
alive.
cream. Face cream.
I heard if you mix it with banana peels, it'll get you high.
No, that's another thing.
Yeah, boo. Yeah.
Okay, so do we like this plan? I don't know. Should we complain about this plan, or do we just say whatever about this plan?
I think we are trying to figure out what works here, and so at least we're taking some measures. What else are you going to do? You're going to put a big net out there in front to block all the seaweed from coming in?
So that is so funny.
We were talking about that on Saturday.
That's not an impossible idea. Think about it this way. You know those, not even a net. You know the things they use for the oil spills?
They're doing it right now in the Pacific Ocean.
And
I sent you this
because
thing,
because the seaweed's on the surface, so you only have to catch it at the surface. And got that seaweed breath.
Banana peels.
So the seaweed's on the surface, so you could theoretically, I think, corral it with those I don't know what those oil things are called, those oil buoy things, whatever they're called.
They're doing a cleanup right now in the Pacific Ocean. A company called Oceanic Global. I think it's Oceanic Global. No, it's the
I'll look
Ocean.
it up. I sent
The
you
Ocean
something.
Cleanup. It's called the Ocean Cleanup. A 24-year-old guy came up with this technology that is. It's basically like a big pool filter that collects the weed and makes it safe for the fish can the animals can swim under it and not get caught in it. But
Is there like a cute pool guy with no shirt on, sifting through it?
if you want to, Rafa, I mean, it's all up to you and your imagination.
All right. Well, we don't know
All
anything
right.
about this seaweed. If you got a problem with this seaweed method, or if you want to track it, put it out there, get hysterical on one of those Facebook, WhatsApp groups.
I like how we just
see what
shoved it
happens.
off, by the way.
Well, we don't know.
Just shoved
It's
off
good that
the seaweed to like Georgia.
To Georgia, it could just be coming right back around. You know, who knows?
Ocean
What?
Cleanup Foundation is the thing.
Oh,
Website.
okay.
It took long to look it up, but the plastic cleaning device invented by a 24-year-old.
Oh, so there is a strapping pool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're a strapping pool guy and you want to give a shout out, give us a call at
361-8557 or leave us a comment. Somebody can look at them. Let's go to the next thing, which is even dumber, but whatever.
Is it iguanas? Is it iguanas?
No, it's not iguana. I don't care about the iguanas. There's always been iguanas, always been a problem. They poop. It's huge poop. It's almost like a human poop.
People eat them.
Hate them. Trap them. Get them out of here. Okay. Some people eat them. There was this woman in Miami who used
Iguana
to...
sausage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was just playing. Okay.
Okay. No, what I did want to talk about is that the Islander, week after week has been featuring restaurants in the newspaper.
not the last week. It's the same restaurant.
So this week or last Thursday's paper, they finally I guess ran out of people to feature or people who would let them feature, and so they're featuring Domino's Pizza.
Dude, Domino's, I've seen, Domino's getting more press than Andrew Tazo.
But
We now know the guy that owns the.
But if anybody read it, I give it to the guy. The guy made it. He made,
the guy's excited.
So no, I don't blame him. He's
But
awesome.
it's like, how do you talk about the food if it's like a freaking tastes the same in China and here?
Somebody commented today, is like, I never had that many pepperonis on my Domino pizza.
Oh my god! And the article starts off like feta cheese, spinach, da da da, 6 cheese, like as if it's like some gourmet. Like I don't even know.
And the guy's like, some places don't even use real cheese. I wonder if...
Yeah, right. I saw that. What?
But one thing that I found interesting was that the guy who owns this one, there's only 2, he says in the article...
There's only 2 franchises in South Florida?
2 franchise owners in South Florida.
Yeah,
so it's like him and another guy own all of the Domino's in the area. Right?
He owns one in Puerto Rico, this guy.
The other thing I noticed was that if you've ever used the Domino's Tracker app, which I haven't, but every time that somebody else does it around me, there's the funny joke that the same guy always prepares the pizzas. This guy's in Caesar. Caesar does everything at this Domino's. It says Caesar's making your pizza, Caesar's out for delivery, Caesar's doing everything. Turns out the owner's name is Caesar.
Caesar is
and
the
that's
owner.
why Caesar does everything on the Tracker app. So next time you want to put a name to a face...
The Domino's Tracker app doesn't work for me. I don't know if anybody's tried. It doesn't work.
No, I don't.
It used to work, but I think Caesar took it down.
I use the Sir Pizza Tracker. Please hold. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's all I have to say, I guess. They ran out of things to say. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
We run out of things to say all the time, but we wouldn't
I
feature
know. I
Domino's
wonder if
in
there are any
openings and
restaurant-
closings.
If there are any restaurant owners out there that are willing to participate so we don't have to read about Domino's.
Well, what's funny is that, Sir Pizza's not in there. It's not like they got Barry to talk.
I think it's part of the landscape. I think that's part of what it is. I kind of defend the Islander on picking them.
I mean, it's giving us something to talk about.
Well, one thing that the Islander has gotten picked on for in the social media world is when they post a story, they use a picture that's like a random picture. It's like, what does this have to do? You couldn't get a better picture than this? Like, for example, when they talked about adding to the community center, they used a picture of the yacht club pool and gazebo.
Yeah,
Remember
right.
that?
I remember that.
Or more recently, they had an article on the entry block and what are we going to do with that? And it was an old picture of La Carreta.
I saw that.
It's
hilarious.
like you can get a picture today that tells the story better.
Yeah.
It's a parking lot, bypass road.
You know why that happens.
Free image use.
Don't tell me because no one's here from there.
It's because whoever's posting that stuff does not have any, doesn't
Or not keep
live
seeing.
with... The Islander sends off the story to the national publisher people, and they manage the social. Almost guaranteed.
So I applaud them for having a local person here now running. I think so. That's what the case is, right? There's a local person.
know.
We should get him on the show. I think it is.
Who is it?
What, Justo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justo is local. Yeah, he's the official publisher. He's like the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rafa, you can like subcontract you. You can go out there and get some pictures. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
Rafa, who's a better photographer?
But he's not going to do the
okay,
social.
perfect.
He's not going to
Best.
do the social media. That guy doesn't do that. That's what I'm telling you.
Who does that?
The National Publishing House.
Oh, right.
You get it? They have like a social media arm in some place in the United States that gets all the stories from all the papers that they own, and they're like, okay, publish this, publish that. You know, Kelly writes a story, she sends it off, and then that person manages the Facebook. And
So
stuff.
you think they're listening? I don't think they're listening.
No
right
way.
now, but
You know what?
what we should do is we should start a category here in the show of spotting the picture.
I like that. I like that a lot. But you know what? Going back to the Domino's thing, after thinking about it while you guys were chit-chatting, maybe it's fine that they did a Domino's thing. 'Cause now we learned.
Absolutely.
We learned. The guy...
Come on, this is great.
Listen, I didn't know. I don't remember. It's been here since 1991. Now we know the guy used to own the Subway. The guy's name is Caesar. It took out the doubt that you had about Caesar making your pizza. The guy has a bunch of franchises. Look, we learned something.
You're
so-
right. We need to go deeper.
Yeah.
I just think
on
it's
everybody.
funny, like you say, when he like recommends the food. It's like, oh, we got this great.
That's
you
funny.
know,
Like, give me a break. It's Domino's.
got the lava cakes. Right?
He's like, what, they're like, what's your favorite junk food? He's like, the chicken wings. Like, okay. Like, I mean,
All right. I haven't eaten since like a bacon
Domino's
cream
is sounding
cheese this
pretty good right
morning.
now.
Don't all right. We got barely anything else. We're gonna drag this one
We're
on.
gonna drag
Whoa.
Domino.
Are you serious?
Five,
Stretchy
five, five.
cheese.
Come on.
You know who, they haven't done Pita Pocket. I'll tell you that.
I haven't been there lately. Has anyone else been there lately?
Yeah, it's still good.
Still good.
I haven't
Shawarma.
been having it.
The owner's really nice. I
I
don't know
know.
his
The
name.
owner's awesome.
Super nice guy.
The guy's really nice.
Okay, now for some serious news you can snooze to.
Uh-oh.
Next Thursday, there's a meeting that kind of just came up out of nowhere. Got sent out today to all these groups and whatever. Virginia Key, a meeting at the Miami Rowing Club to discuss the Flex Park at the Marine Stadium. Okay? Remember the Marine Stadium. City of Miami took it over, did the boat show, promised a bunch of parks. Those never came. Well, it turns out that in May, they signed a contract with a company for $850,000, more or less, to develop some kind of thing there. This happened in May. This Thursday, they have that meeting at the Miami Rowing Club at 6:30, and you go over there, and they want people to show up, this Virginia Key Alliance, to kind of push the city into doing the kind of stuff that people want, which is kind of, yes?
So how is the alliance represented? So don't we have delegates from Key Biscayne?
No, this is something different. This is a kind of a community group. It's kind of like when we have those groups here on the Key that
So
do
who's in
like the
charge?
green initiatives and stuff like that. It's kind of like that, but for Virginia Key.
Who's in charge? Who's
I don't know
Charles
who
is
the
in
head
charge.
honcho is. I do know that the village of Key Biscayne,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
the village is going to send some rep.
maybe
It's gonna-
Theo knows. Maybe Theo
The
knows.
village
He
is
can
going to
give us
send
call.
a representative, okay? And the village, these Virginia Key people who are who are tasked with kind of guiding the city on what to do, want everybody to show up there to make sure that this thing it goes the right way. Let's say that the people's voices are heard. Now, I wonder how much City of Miami wants to hear Key Biscayne's voices, but you might want to go either way.
It's
You know?
interesting.
That's on Thursday the 20th at
Yeah.
the Miami Rowing Club.
Yes, and
What time?
at 6:30 to 8:30, and they really want everybody out there. But the only thing is that, and now moving into the calendar. Okay, now moving into the calendar. There's another event that's at that exact same time, September 20th, at the Biscayne Nature Center from 5:30 to 7:30.
Right.
There's a panel discussion titled "Shit Show." Let's talk about the shit in the beach. The enterococci.
Entre cookies. I keep seeing it all over the place. Shit show. Is shit not a curse word?
Yeah, it is, but they want to
I like
they really want to get the message out there that there's this is a big deal that
maybe
there's
it's an acronym
shit
or something.
in
You
the
know what I mean?
beach.
So they're able to use the word shit, but they've been publishing it like shit. Maybe it's like the school of history of the achy.
Cussing is the future,
Stuff.
you know, I guess. I don't know.
mean, who cares?
So that's happening on Thursday also. So you're going to have to decide,
What's more important for you?
yeah, what's more important for you. And it's a shame that they coincide like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me tell you about the shit show. They are going to have a panel discussion, and it's Jose Javier Rodriguez, the Honorable Jose Javier Rodriguez, state senator for our district, will be there. Rachel Silverstein from Miami Waterkeeper, Julie Dick, who was here on this show 2 shows ago, and Jackie Kellogg, who is the chair of the Biscayne Nature Center. And they're going to have a discussion about what's going on over there. And so if you're interested in knowing, you know, how much people know and what's being done, you would go to that one. But if you're really interested in the Flex Park at the Marine Stadium, then you would go to that one. You got to pick.
So now, this time of year, you see the candidates out there. All of the candidates should know these calendar. Our calendar here today. What would you do? What do you do? You're split.
Technically, the panel discussion is from 5:30 to 7:30, so I guess you could go for the last 45 minutes to the rowing club, because that's from 6:30 to 8:30.
They're only like a mile away from each other.
Exactly.
Right there. Do one and then the other.
So you can try making it to both.
I'm already seeing the candidates out there in the morning, by the way.
They've been out there.
Doing little waves.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So if you're listening, go to the Flex Park thing. Go do that first. It's true if you think about it, because look.
No, it's the opposite.
But the shit show thing is very important. I agree, it's a very important thing. But is there anything going to move forward after that? Like realistically?
No. Though the other thing with the rowing club, it's only kind of they want people to show up, but the city's going to decide ultimately what to do. You know, they want to hear people's voices, especially for Key Biscayners, expect them to use the space like for events and stuff like that. So
I still can't believe we lost our baseball fields.
Mm-hmm.
I can believe it.
I believe it. Man,
What's there now? I forget.
Nothing.
Grass.
Yeah, grass.
So why don't we burn the seaweed there?
Oh,
Put the seaweed there and just burn it.
because it's a Village Key Biscayne versus Miami-Dade. That's a whole different ball game. Let me just quickly go through the calendar, and then we can talk shit, I guess. September 21st, Friday, after the day after that
already.
Thursday thing, you got the Tall Boys at the Wet Lab. On Saturday, September 22nd, you got Last Call at the Key Biscayne Yacht Club Clubhouse. That'll be one for the history books. I wrongly said that it was already done last week, but we were corrected mid-show, so that's this Saturday. On September 25th, you got a Tuesday entry block special meeting. The council's going to have a meeting to see if they buy the entry block again. Who knows what's going to happen. That's next week. After next week's show, we'll talk about it then. The Lions Club's got their Oktoberfest on September 28th at the Beach Club for $30.
Did you guys go last year?
Food and drink.
no, I didn't go, but I saw the ad in the newspaper.
Why don't we go? We never go.
It's the Yacht Club also has an Oktoberfest, and it's a kind of like a toss-up of which you go to and which you don't. There's not going to be a clubhouse this time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Lions Club has actual Germans, which is a plus.
Cool. That's a plus. That's a huge
That's a big deal.
But they have been slacking the past few years, so I'll put them on the spot. If anybody in the Lions Club is listening, amp it up. It needs to be more of a party and less
there
of
no
a
live music?
They're kind of going through the motions. No, they do get they do get German live music and stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's go.
And then on October 19th and 20th, you got the Haunted Hike at Bill Baggs. Get ready for that. If you want to participate, you can talk to Manny.
The yacht club event there's a poker run also. Did you mention that?
I did not mention that.
Yeah, it's a poker run during the day. So they're going. Everyone gets a card.
Liquor up front, poker in the rear.
Oh my lord!
What, at the bar?
What did you ever go to the Ask Club? Speaking of poking in the rear,
The barbecue at the rec
barbecue.
center? I did not.
Oh, Raphael, you were supposed to go to tell us how it was.
I know, but I just didn't want to go by
Singles
myself.
on the key.
All right, well, we kind of got through everything a little too quick there because it's only 7:07 p.m. on this Monday, September 17th,
Rafa,
2018.
there's a few listeners on Facebook Live, and I'm like, hey, give us a call and share. We're out of material.
Okay.
Maybe there's a long
Nice.
lag. Nobody's called because it's 8557, right, Rafa?
It is
You have your phone?
8557. I do.
All right, it's on, right?
Yes.
First caller gets a free beer, courtesy of Griff.
Oh, are we on a video?
Chucky Duncan. Oh yeah, hi Anna. Smile.
So tell us what the peanut gallery has to say.
Chucky Duncan is answering Lenny's question, and my question too. I had this question a few weeks ago. Lenny, weed on the street is from the boat trailers. It's falling off when they leave the Key Biscayne Marina and the yacht club and the boat ramp from the boat ramp. So that's where I saw some weed on the causeway the other day, and I thought maybe they were pulling weed out. But Chucky, thanks for clearing that up for me. That's going to be worth the beer for you. That's a scotch for you, Chucky. Check that.
Wow.
That's a scotch.
Stepping it up.
Who else is listening today? Theo's here.
Nice. Hi, Theo.
Theo mentioned that Robert Buzz Vernon, former mayor Robert Buzz Vernon, he was my coach when I was a kid. 12 years
Nice.
old, he was my soccer coach. Him and Billy Pesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Maggie's dad.
Dastardly duo.
I was going to say, Mackie told me, I was on the beach with him yesterday. He said he'd be here at 6 o'clock to be on the show, and he didn't show up. So calling went out.
We'll get back to Mackie, but Theo was saying that Buzz may know who's sitting on that delegation, or if there is a delegation for the Flex Park as from the Key. So
That's cool.
Because Buzz was actually going to be on one of those committees with somebody. Who was it? I forgot. Somebody important. Kevin Goodwin, of course. Listen, hey, how are you,
Hey,
Kevin?
Kev.
Lenny has all kinds of things to say. Alexa's
Lenny.
been through. Alvaro, of course. So thanks a lot for listening, guys. That's every time that we have extra time on the show, we're going to do that. We're just going to say something about everyone who
Sounds like a good
commented.
idea.
All right. So let's add that as a...
Last week we went over by half an hour, so maybe it was, we overdid
I know,
it.
Rafa, did you bring any more of those stupid things that people were saying on the survey
That was
by
fun.
chance?
That was
No, I mean, we went through them all. I was going to say, if you guys want to read them for yourselves, they're out there, but I didn't get any more to analyze on that. I know the budgets are coming out soon, so
Yay,
that'll be
we can
fun
play that
too.
game
That'll
again.
be fun. The Budget Price is Right will come back after a
2 years.
2-year hiatus.
2 year
Oh,
hiatus.
that's coming up soon, like
Yeah,
in the next week or
exactly.
two. And speaking of coming up soon, I see that the balcony improvement has been spectacular. I mean, it's beautiful. Is the screen on there, or is it just so clear?
The screen isn't on yet,
Okay.
and it should be ready by next week.
That's what you
Should
said
be.
last week, but 2 weeks ago. But
You can walk out there, but you can't. I can't put my
It's
furniture out
beautiful,
there yet.
man. I can't wait to get
It
out
does
there.
look nice.
For those that are just tuning in for the first time ever, probably all 8 out of 9 of you here, we're going to do the show outside. And so you're going to come by. You can come by on the street on Sunrise here in the Garden District and wave to us. We're on the second floor down by the sands, end of the street.
It's a nice invitation.
That's going to be nice.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's when people are really going to line up for the free beers, Rafa, that you advertise on the show.
Is that it, man? I feel like we should have more here.
Come on,
that's
Has
it.
anyone been to Secreto Gourmet yet?
No, I
Negative.
have not.
Guys, we have to go,
I haven't. Where did I eat? At Doggies.
I did go
we
by.
have doggies. We could do a doggies review.
Yeah, I had doggies too, huh?
Oh, you
Really?
did?
Yep.
Oh,
Let's do a doggies
Trifecta.
review.
It wasn't bad at all.
It's so
Wasn't
good.
bad at all.
What is that?
It's a Venezuelan
swear.
like arepa place.
It's so good, and they have beers.
But what are the arepas priced? Because arepas, when it's like, I need $6.95 for this arepa, that seems like a lot to me.
It's fully loaded though, like big time, like a lot of meat, and yeah, it's good. It's really good.
So I was thinking about this the other night. I was talking with a friend on Friday, and I was thinking, I think we need a Chinese restaurant back on the Key.
Oh,
If anybody agrees, chime in. I think we
that
need
like
Chinese
button.
food back on the island.
you need. The thing about a Chinese restaurant is that you got to be Chinese to start it, and so,
Get creative, people.
I don't know anybody Chinese. The people who used to run China Garden were my neighbors, and
we They were Chinese?
The Lees, yeah. And
Really?
the daughter went to my school,
Yeah.
at Key West Elementary, Kelly Lee. And that was them for a while, and then they sold it to another family that I don't think lived on the island. But
Well, Domino's owner does not live on the Key. He lives in Coconut Grove, and I know that because of the article.
You know what?
So
One
we could have
concept.
Chinese people from off the Key run the Chinese food restaurant.
no, that's fine. Yes, I'm saying. But I'm just saying, you need a Chinese
That's pretty cool
family
that the
to come-
Lees
to come
own the
do it.
restaurant and you guys.
And
were
I'm
neighbors.
surprised
That's
that
pretty cool.
I guess it's just the market economics don't work for the rental in the Chinese place.
I've seen this concept. You probably have too. You walk into a restaurant and it's all about configuring your dish, right? So it's a bowl, and
I
you
had
pick
lunch
your
today.
noodle, your rice, your different kind of noodle, different kind of rice, quinoa, whatever base. Then you move over to the next line. You pick your protein, you pick your sauces, you pick your, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you build your own bowl.
Yeah.
It's like good home cooking quality,
Yeah.
healthy. It's not
Yeah.
fried and stuff, and like your kids will eat it. They'll eat it, and they find their mix or whatever. And so it's a perfect place for the Key because every kid's walking around with a $30 bill, and right?
I went to a place
Absolutely true.
downtown
What-
today called Jar and Fork, and it was exactly that. And it was
That
delicious.
concept does not exist in Key Biscayne, Griff. Get on it.
I wish.
But where did you see this concept?
Yeah. Everywhere in downtown.
Everywhere in this
Really?
country, yeah.
Everywhere.
Wherever I travel, I find this.
Everywhere.
What is it, like a fritanga?
Fritanga? No, it's like a healthy, like
Like a healthy fritanga?
it's just like build your bowl. It's like
build
Della
your
bowl,
bowl.
Build your
kind of,
bowl.
but like you build it
Yourself.
Like you can build
Yeah.
your bowl at Della.
Oh, like
There's one in
an
Tallahassee.
offer
It
dolls
It doesn't even
type
need
of
to be
thing.
bowl. It doesn't even need to be a bowl.
Remember offer dolls?
Offer dolls.
Offer
Yeah,
dolls.
but it's
That one's
not.
whack.
What's offer dolls?
Yeah,
No, it's no
Offer
good.
Doll was a
was like-
franchise.
like-
He was a player, a Dolphins
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story. Rafa, it's good,
And hearty.
filling, hearty, and quality food
And fast.
and fast.
If you want it to be.
By the way, this all sounds like Chicken Kitchen, and they didn't make it. They didn't make it.
Johnny,
I don't know
you're
how.
So right.
I think it was bad timing for them. If
I
they
don't
were
know
around
how-
right now,
I don't know how Chicken Kitchen didn't
Dude,
make it.
we live in Key Biscayne. It's full of Latin Americans. We all eat rice and chicken. How did they not survive?
I do not understand. Something sketchy happened there. We should look into the history of what happened
Do you
there.
guys
because
remember
Chicken
the
Kitchen-
owner? He was like a mafioso dude.
I still ate there.
I know, but he was probably running it.
Chicken
you know.
Kitchen, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Jonathan's 100% right.
ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news right here.
Oh,
Oh, a new place.
You
open.
know who said this?
Lenny.
The Old Key Grill is coming back.
What's the old
is
Key
it?
Grill? Why don't I know?
Is it now, Chuck? Is it?
Chucky, I think you need to give us
I'm
a
ready
call
for it.
when
We're
you're
all ready for it.
Give
you
us
Is
a
know?
it going
call.
to be on the beach like we requested last week?
So, not just that. Last week when we were reading the comment section of the survey, more than one person said a sports bar. So take note. Somebody's clamoring for sports bar. Nobody's going to that Stefano's thing. Poor guys.
I know. I
That
feel
did not
bad.
hit
I don't
at
know
all.
what happened there. They had
Somebody
so much.
wants a sports bar. That's for sure.
Last week we said that the Keyhole had been closed for whatever reason, and Jonathan, their number one fan, didn't know about this, which was weird.
Because I stopped going.
So our friend Bob chimed in on the chat and said that they are renovating. So they have been closed for renovation. But we don't know when it's going to open. So if anyone knows when the Keyhole is going to open back up.
I still call it Ibis, by the way.
I know, Ibis. So
Easier.
It's easier.
Okay, go back to this bowl concept because I'm a little lost.
What
What is the base of the bowl?
Either quinoa or lentils or salad or cauliflower or broccoli, stuff
Or
like
no,
that.
no,
Brussels
not
sprouts.
broccoli, rice, noodles, whatever you want.
Okay, and then you just kind of put toppings on.
And then
like,
you go to the next column. So you got your base.
Chicken,
Next
fish,
column, protein.
meat.
All your different proteins. Next column,
Sauce.
sausage. Next column,
Manny,
vegetables.
you should open this place up, man. You should bring it.
If I have
food
time,
business is tough.
Key bowl.
I don't know if I like a place where I have to do that much work just to get my food. Can I?
It's not you doing it. Oh my
you know what the
Lord.
best food business is on the Key? The best one. Best
Golden
one.
Hog.
7-Eleven.
Domino's,
Those are all
Domino's.
great. Good. Yes. Close, Rafa. Close.
Subway.
Boom.
Subway probably makes
I
a
never
killing.
eat there. I haven't eaten there
So
in years.
easy. It's tiny little sliver, low overhead in there. You pay your rent.
They got those
You have-
footlongs.
and it's constantly Constantly
Whatever.
moving. And you know why? You know who patronizes that? The kids, man.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
kids and the $30 bills.
We used to go to Blimpie.
No, we should go to Augustum.
Oh, Augustum was the bomb shit.
Have you ever measured one of those footlongs?
Huh?
Have you ever measured one of those footlongs?
Yeah, like
No. Have
they're
you ever
not a foot.
measured
They're not
a
as
foot
long as they say they are.
Just like you. Oh.
oh,
I'm so sorry. It was meant for anybody.
bring out the pool ball.
I'm sorry. It was meant for all you guys in the room.
That's Friday flashbacks.
Friday flashbacks. Why Friday flashbacks? I'm confused. Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay,
Sorry,
so if
Rafa.
anyone out there
Tuesdays.
is ignoring
Little anger.
all the comments, give us a call, please. There's free beer tonight. Nobody's calling Rafa. I don't understand. 305-361-8556.
Nobody's calling Rafa.
7.
Oh, it's 8557. My bad. 8557. 8557. 361-8557.
I missed it because I was looking at my phone.
Whatever.
Whatever.
If anybody knows what happened to Chicken Kitchen, give us a call. That's what
I'm telling you, I know what happened.
What, the guy was shady?
It was 4th of July, 2005-ish.
What happened?
Something like that. Chicken Kitchen Man has just bought a new Lexus hardtop convertible. He's riding through the parade, top down. This is like the first hardtop convertible ever.
When they first came out, those
Yeah.
were the
It was
Lexus
like,
were the
whoa,
ones.
Yeah.
This was a simpler time. There was a Blockbuster still on
Oh,
the
put your
key.
story on pause, but you have to remember it.
Go ahead. You tell your story. Tell your story. How do I answer?
He's going through the thing.
Through the parade.
You hung up on him. Anyway. He's going through the parade.
Yeah.
He has made Alex Canales dress up in a chicken suit in 1,000-degree heat and dance around in front of his
Like,
shiny new champagne-colored drop-top, hard-top Lexus, where he weighs 400 pounds and he's oozing like Jabba the Hutt in this thing, telling the chicken to dance. Guy is almost fainting. The key rats of old are still on this island. There's not even a curb or sidewalk at this time, let me tell you. This is before sidewalks and curbs. It's just that little green gutter, if you remember. Actually, it's the green sidewalk and the little green gutter that used to be here. Very low profile. All the key rats have their coolers right there, right on the street. This guy comes by. A literal barrage of water balloons all inside his car.
filled with the yellow sauce. No, I'm joking. That'd be cool.
That's when the big Don Kingpin decided this town isn't worthy of my chicken kitchen.
Damn it,
He
guys.
closed it.
You guys ruined it for us.
He took his undercooked chicken talons to South Beach.
Did he? To go to South Beach?
I don't know where he went, but soon after, you know why they closed? It's because that space was way too big. Come on.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
true.
really big.
That's true.
And
It
when the
was.
rent went up, and CVS was like, I want it.
Guys, Chicken Kitchen.
Anyway, that was a true story, by the way.
No, yeah.
Embellished only a tiny bit.
Damn. Chicken Kitchen.
Yeah. So,
Do an Islander news article on that.
no, there's nothing else. Let's see.
Oh, we
Blah,
have
blah,
a
blah. People
caller.
are
We have a
talking.
caller up in here. Who is it?
Theo, I want to apologize to you for accidentally hanging up on you on Rafa's phone. It's a slick phone. So, how you doing, man? What's going on? You got something to say? We need something. What do you got?
I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on the cycle of the key. I want to hear about whether or not you think that the key is where it is in its cycle. Like, is this something new as far as just where it's at today, or have you guys seen sort of this before? Is there anything about the key in terms of not just monetary real estate, but in terms of who's living on the key right now versus who wasn't, a couple of years ago? Because I feel like we're in a transitional phase, but you've got, I feel like, Manny, you might have seen this before, and I'm just
You're
curious
old.
if you guys agree or disagree.
Well, Theo, at first I thought you were talking about the seaweed. But
He's talking about residents.
yeah, residents. I think that's a great question, Theo. I think that's a
Yes,
great
it
question.
is.
That's like a whole show.
Theo,
So-
type us out your. We'll talk about this right now. Type us out what you think it is in the or any speculation, and I'll start speculating right now.
Well, it stems from a lot what we talked about last week. Shit.
I wonder if he's seeing the prices go down. But this is kind of a little bit everywhere, but not really. It's more here in the Key. There's other places in Miami where prices are slowly going up. And are you seeing that more families are leaving? I'm not sure exactly what you're hinting at or
Yeah, I mean, well, for one, obviously, a lot of our peers have moved off the Key.
yeah.
So you've got this sort of generational transition if you want a house and you were living in a condo. But then on top of that, I feel like just the overall density is actually down. It could just be me based on my daily patterns, but, you know, you still hear complaints about traffic, but not really. And I think that it's just me, but I think that maybe some of the rhetoric around immigration has, and also you've got the element of just the dollar value relative to some of the Latin American countries, whereas before it was sort of like, hey, let's get our money out of the
Okay, but
US.
this is
And
do you,
now
do you get that
that's
it's
not even an option anymore?
yeah, okay, so you think it could be plateauing. Also, remember that the traffic is definitely still summer. I guess it's
Yeah.
not totally because school's back in sesh, but I don't think the snowbirds are here yet. So when they get here, you'll notice that uptick again. But at the same time, I do think that maybe some of those lower income families are being priced out of the GED, and they were stacking units with families. And so slowly they might be getting priced out to smaller families. And things like that. That could be something that's going on. I think it's too early to call it a trend. Like, it's only been, this kind of thing with the real estate and stuff has been for since the beginning of the year, maybe
No, a year.
Things have been stagnant for maybe almost a year now. Yeah. I think it's too early to call it that it's changing completely.
I also think that he's thinking more of this study of people of what you're seeing around and not just going through real estate, right, Theo? Maybe
Yeah, it's not just about the real estate. It's
like
more
an
about
anthropological study.
the idea that there were, sort of a wave of people are moving off the Key
Yeah.
for various reasons.
Yeah, Theo, I was thinking that way too. I wasn't really thinking the real estate, but it's almost like you get here, you get your SUV, your golf cart, usually a golf cart with side panels on it. I don't know why you need the side panels on it, and it's almost like a the same people, and just being cloned. I mean, it's a homogenous group coming in.
I still think it's too early to say anything without any. There's just not enough.
Let's study it next week. Let's think about it for the next week and go back to the topic. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, with our generation, I mean, that was always going to be a fickle thing, and I guess we'll see it rebound once we get to the age of 40, 45.
We're already almost 40.
We'll start seeing people arriving to the Key who have the money to live on the Key at 45 and stuff like that. Don't you think? Or do you think it'll just? Well, that's.
I think it's circumstance of our generation that we're the first generation that makes less than our parents. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna.
Yeah, but there's always going to be rich people. It's a small
Yeah,
place.
but not our friends coming back.
No, not our friends. Our generation. People
Have
of
you
our
guys
age.
had lunch at the square lately?
What?
When you go have lunch at the square, you'll realize that you don't know anybody. All the people that are sitting down are from Latin America. Everybody's speaking 3 different languages. The Key's changing, guys. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, Griff. I see that same homogenous
yeah,
group of,
it's exactly
people
what you
that
said.
may be from different places, but it's the
Same thing.
So one of Theo's questions for you was, because you've been around a little bit longer, have you seen this go through a cycle as intense as this one before, or is it something that's
I
completely
did.
new?
I
sure
did when
Manny
those
has.
damn Cubans came. I remember that's when it was.
No, but also, it's changing. It's cyclical. It's going to happen again and again. But I think the major money that was like fueling the real estate is starting to die down. I do think that's
All right. Well, let's Theo. Very thought provoking. I think you filled up all our time. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Thanks,
We'll
Theo.
talk soon. Bye bye.
I don't have a good answer to that, and I don't think.
I think it was a
anybody
good
here does.
question
Yeah,
because
I
it's
think
a
good
feeling.
question.
It's a feeling that we're all going through, and I see it when I'm here, and it hits me more when I'm here because I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
It's not even that, but it's just like, I don't know. It's a whole
It's true.
new
At the
breed of
square,
people.
Griff. I've been there. I went to the. I love that Spanish place
go
back
to
there.
lunch at,
No, I haven't
if you go to lunch
Kazumi.
at Kazumi, that's exactly
Yeah,
it.
that corner.
It's like, you're like, what the, where are we? Like, it is.
Lunch is. They crush it at the lunch
They
there.
do.
I go there
crush
for
it.
lunch.
All right.
They have bento
Speaking
boxes.
of, I really. Are we at the? Oh, we're not there yet. So it's not even 7:30 yet.
We don't have to do. We don't live by the clock, man. We do what we want.
wanna.
Yeah.
Thank
Get out of
goodness.
here.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
All right.
And I have been to the square recently. I went to Doggies on Saturday.
Let's talk about doggies. I call it doggies. You call it dogies. What do you guys call it?
Doggies.
Thank you.
Tomato. It's called the whole
Have
thing
you been
off.
there?
No, I haven't, but I'm going to go now.
It's really good.
It's a filling meal for $15.
Wait, I really actually really like it, but I get the arepa with like shredded chicken and avocado and maybe some queso fresco.
You know what my favorite food place is on the Key?
Set.
The farmers market on Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's great, man, and they keep
I miss
attracting different vendors, good talent, good value, community. Everyone's out there, so they're doing a great job with that.
Oh, I finally had a juice at the Golden Hog. I've been wanting to check it out. I had a green juice at the Golden Hog. That place is the best.
Do you know what happened at the Golden Hog to a friend of the show? I don't even. We probably shouldn't even talk about
Oh
this.
no, what happened? I'm curious.
Well, no, we should have her call in. Maybe next week we'll have her call in. Alexandra, if you're listening, I don't think you are, but
Somebody wait. No, now you got to
yeah.
tell.
Well, okay.
Okay. We're not gonna like go to commercial
Okay.
break.
I'm sorry.
Can't
You
wait
know
all
what?
week
I'm
for
sorry.
Alexandra.
People are
I
not
didn't
gonna win.
even mean to bring it up, but you mentioned the Golden Hog, and I love the Golden Hog. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
But there was an unfortunate incident there where,
no.
yeah, she had the soup is very hot there.
Yeah, it's
Very,
hard.
Okay.
very hot, and there was a soup spillage.
On her skin. and
Yes,
burned
and
her?
it was pretty bad. And she tells the story. I hope that she can come in sometime and tell the story because I want to see you do everything you can to not laugh because it's horrendous.
That's funny.
And but she tells the story so well. I mean, she was on the ground screaming.
Oh my God.
She ran outside to the parking lot. Took off her shirt, and and she's telling the story. She's so funny. She told it. I can tell the story now, Alexander, because there were more people at the dinner party where you told the story that are listening on this show.
So,
So anyway, she's fine. Good news is fine. There's some scarring, but
Oh, man.
overall she's fine. And so just be careful. PSA: the soup is hot over at the Hog.
what
know.
was the soup?
I think that's a good
It
question,
must
and I
have
asked
been
the
the
same
chicken
thing.
soup because it's a
Yes.
broth
It's
based.
the broth. It's
It
the
must
broth.
have been that because I can't
I think it
imagine
was.
a
I'm
cream
not sure. I'm not
based
sure.
soup doing that. Although it can.
So, but still, the Golden Hog, you're doing a great job there. Keep it up.
Chicken soup in this heat.
Bro,
Oh,
I had
thanks.
that bean chili on Saturday. It's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay,
All right.
and then I'm gonna call it just because
Because it's time.
we were just rambling.
Those are the best.
Rambling.
Those are the best.
Nah, it's good
Well,
to ramble with purpose.
Fine.
Yeah, and now we know that Anna had the green shake at the Golden Hog or whatever. it
It's
was.
important.
I think we're right at about 60 minutes too. Not that it matters.
It doesn't matter.
I know, but we really
I'll go
are.
over, I'll go under.
This
I would
is
do a
show
2-hour show.
1, 2, 3, guys.
Yeah,
One,
1, 2, 3.
Such a
3.
pleasure.
Yes.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure. 1, 2, 3.
So, actually, no, never mind.
I tried to tee up the close right there.
No, no.
You got it. 1, 2, 3.
No,
you got it.
Who said that? I can't even see that. Who is that over there? It's so dark in here. I can barely see.
Manny's trying to leave. It's getting late for him. He's trying to leave.
Okay, that's the show, guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, share the page, do all that stuff. Help us out with that. Tune in next week when I promise we will have just a little more to talk about. Just a tiny bit more. It's going to be good. It's going to be way better. Even though this was awesome, too. Okay.
All right.
What show is it?
1, 2, 3.
123.
All right, bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.